Hello, and thank you for joining us today for our first webinar in a series that we on the Modern Solutions team are excited to bring you and share that will cover various topics related to D&H Modern Solution and you, our partners. My name is Ian Cumming, and I'm the Senior Cloud and Services Development Manager here at D&H Canada. And today I have with me Jeff Kosmala. Jeff?
Hey, thanks, Ian, and thanks everyone for joining today's webinar. Like Ian was saying, my name is Jeff Kosmala. I'm one of the Microsoft sales specialists for our partners here in Canada.
Great, thanks, Jeff. Looking at our agenda today, we thought it would be best to provide you an overview of our Modern Solutions business unit. We want to touch on our Success Path program, speak to the D&H Cloud and Microsoft Better Together story, a demo of our marketplace, and of course, any questions and answers. I would like to start by giving you a look at why we built out our Modern Solutions business unit. When you look at how traditional distribution is set up, it's very siloed, segmented by vendor and segmented by the vendor and their offerings. You have separate sales and technical support, and these teams are normally not aligned with each other and not working together for you. It's really built on that traditional distribution model of pick, pack, and ship. And that's worked well for all of us over the last 20 plus years. We find that traditional distribution is very hardware orientated, and they're really looking for that next sale, right? What we have built is a business unit that focuses on multi-vendor solutions, and that's really the norm these days. Any solutions that you are providing to your customers is usually built up of a variety of vendors. We have the sales and the technical teams working side by side because it's not just a sale anymore either, but rather a solution that needs to be built. We have the teams in place to help you expand your current offerings or build out new practices, right? The new customer approach, they're looking for customized delivery and consumption models. And that's a lot different from the traditional transaction model. It's all about that customer experience with the technology, and it's not as hardware focused. A lot of your solutions and what we provide is very service orientated, right? You're bringing that extra value instead of just a product. And to bring all this together, you need advanced platforms and tools. And we have these in place for you. So a question that we ask, are you aware of our D&H Modern Solutions? Give you time to answer that. Now I'd like to share with you the structure and what we call our Modern Solutions business unit. This is the first business unit within D&H North America that is truly a North American organization, right? We align initially in our technology categories, right? So we organize by practice areas. What we want to do is help the partner develop practices and create solutions in these areas. If you look at the first category, is really modern applications. These are business applications like Microsoft 365 and the complementary vendors that wrap around it. If we move to modern infrastructure, so this is the data center practice. This is the server, the storage, data center networking infrastructure, and it's made up of vendors like Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, Microsoft Azure. It doesn't matter if it's on cloud or on premise, and we'll get into that. The third area that we offer is modern collaboration, and this is essentially the video conferencing hardware that you're using in your boardroom, your huddle rooms, or like me, personal video conference solutions on the desktop. It's the cameras, the devices. And the most important part of that is the software platforms like Microsoft Teams, Cisco WebEx, RingCentral. These are the solutions that flow to make that collaboration solution possible. Modern security, this is, as you can imagine, everything to do with cybersecurity, whether it be a software solution, a cloud solution, a data center solution. It doesn't matter. It's all put together in this category. We have practice leaders for each of these different areas, and from a customer standpoint, you engage through one of these initial boxes. It's pretty easy to figure out, and we're not bouncing you all over our call system, right? We're here to help you solve for that technical solution that you currently have on your plate today. We look into the next area of how we're built, and that's the delivery, right? So we have a team of experts that will support, design, and really build the solution on how you want to deliver it and how your customer wants to consume it. When you look at the first area, is it on-prem, right? Is it going to be delivered as an on-prem solution? This is where you have the physical hardware in your data center or your customer's center. Is it a cloud solution where the entire solution is hosted in the cloud and accessed via some sort of subscription or pay-as-you-go model? This way, as a cloud solution, it can be the entire solution is based in the cloud. There's no physical hardware for you to touch or to be shipped. The third area is really what is the most common that we see, right? And that's the hybrid solution. Whether it's a combination of hardware on-premise, legacy systems that need to be integrated with, and part of that is in the cloud, be it the backup, is it certain workloads or applications, certain software as a service offerings similar to Microsoft 365, where there's no other way you can buy it except in the cloud, right? So the delivery doesn't stop there. We want to talk to you about the services that need to go into that. So we look at our professional service, right? Someone is going to have to do the assessment and someone's going to have to do the implementation, whether that be you, your customer's IT, a competitor, or it can be D&H as well, right? We want to work with you and help you flush out the assessment and the implementation services that are needed. I often refer to this when I'm talking to our partners as our gap services, right? Is there a current skill gap on your team? Is it a scale gap, right? Or is it geographic reach? Our professional services delivery team is here to help fill those gaps for you. The next area is managed services. Now, there's a lot of talk about what managed services are, but quite simply, it's a service level agreement that is in place to manage an environment once it is up and running. Normally, this is via a subscription model paid monthly to an MSP, so a master solution provider, managed service provider, to keep everything up and running and answer the phone with any questions or problems. We have ready-to-go managed services. We offer managed help desk, a managed NOC, and a managed SOC as well. The last area on the delivery is our area that we call X as a service or everything as a service. This is where we talk about bundling everything together, the hardware, the software, the cloud, the professional services, the managed services, all into one payment or solution bundle. But we'll go into this in more depth in a follow-up webcast. The third area is our D&H, where is our resources, right? So if we take a step back and look at the structure as we have it today, we have the categories, we have the delivery and the consumption, and then we have our resources, right? So our resources are what help us really stand out. And we like to put our resources in what we call the 4 Ps that you see in these 4 boxes, right? This is an area that Jeff and I and the rest of the team could probably spend an hour with you and really dig in deep on the differentiators. But just to cover it for, taking time into consideration here is really the people area. So we have a cross-function team that lives and breathes in the business unit, covers everything from business development, sales support. We have solutions engineers here to help build out your solution. We have the marketing support. And of course, all this is made possible by our operations team, right? When we get into the programs, we have a success path, right? And I'll cover that in a moment. There's a marketing agency which you can engage with. We offer post-sales support. A lot of this is included, but there are add-on post-sales support offerings as well for you, the partner. How do we put this all together? It's really the platforms, right? So our D&H Cloud Marketplace, we're quite proud of this, and Jeff's going to demonstrate for this to us coming up shortly. There's the X as a service configuration tool. As I mentioned, we'll go more in depth in that on a follow-up webinar. Web ordering, proposal development, these are the commonalities that we bring. And then you have to look at the payments, right? So the payments is obviously very important to all of us, right? Your customers are looking for subscription invoicing, a consumption invoicing, or a consumption model. And then there's the regular financing that you're all available or all familiar with today, terms, flooring. We even offer end customer financing as well. So that's a highlight of looking at our D&H modern business unit, right? It's the technology categories. We set up first in those 4 categories for you. And then it's the delivery or the consumption. How are you going to deliver this? How do your customers want to deliver this, right? And then lastly is the resources to put this together for you. So this is the structure of what we've brought on our modern solutions business unit for you. I spoke about the success path, right? So the success path program is a practice building program which is self-consumable. You see today it's accessible through our website. Today we have 3 offerings that are out and available: the Success Path to Cloud, Success Path to Unified Communications, Success Path to Security. You can see the commonality, Success Path, right? We're going to bring out more under that Success Path umbrella, right? So really it's a series designed to help you, our partner, leverage managed services to profitably launch, optimize, and maximize your practice while providing that ultimate value to the customer. And when we look at the Success Path programs, it's really broken into 2 parts, right? Part number 1 was actually help you build that practice. For example, we'll have a partner call and say, I have this collaboration opportunity. We don't really work in that space, and I don't really think about video conferencing that much. How do we do this? Well, we have a training program, Success Path to Unified Communications, right? The Success Path to Collaboration. Here, working with business development, our solution architects, we'll put together that solution for you so you can go out and offer that to your customer. The second part of the program is transformation training, right? This is where we'll bring a partner and help them move from where they are today to being a successful managed service provider. Let's go down one level, right? I won't walk through all of them, but looking at the D&H Success Path to Cloud. So this is a program that provides a framework to help your partners, help you build, optimize a profitable cloud practice, right? We use an 8-step methodology to outline specific steps to success and share content from subject matter experts and our own teams as well, right? We know what the formula is for building and getting a successful cloud practice up and running end to end. And when you look at this 8-step program, it's a collection of those best practices. And this is one area where I'm personally able, and Jeff and the rest of our team that's not on the call today are here to actually build that out with you. What is the solution? What vendors, right? Financial planning. How do you going to market this to your customers? And most importantly, how are you going to enable your sales team? So that's just one example, high level of the Success Path to Cloud. Microsoft and D&H, right? We're very excited about this. This is the last puzzle in our piece for our cloud solutions. Question: did you know or are you familiar that D&H is a Microsoft indirect CSP provider? Well, it's exciting news, and I hope you're already aware that we are an indirect provider for the CSP licensing program to the Canadian partner base, right? We say Microsoft CSP, but it's the Microsoft Cloud Solution Provider Program, right? It's a licensing program for Microsoft's offerings, Office 365, Azure, M365, the EMS, or what is called Enterprise Mobility Suite, and their Dynamics offering. So we're very excited to work with you and bring to you the value of what we have to offer and really help build out those solutions. We understand that Microsoft CSP is a complex and sometimes challenging program, right? You look at how are we going to do this, right? When I look at how we're set up today, just on Microsoft alone, we're at 25 plus individuals, right? We have the pre and the post-sale support for modern work in Azure. Our modern work team right now is 12 individuals. Our Azure team is 6, and our operations team is at 6 and growing, right? And that's just to support your business. We have the modern work in Azure sales solution architects. We're really here to help, again, build out that practice, right? A lot of you are familiar with the program. A lot of you are probably selling Office 365 or M365. I hope some of you are selling Azure, but how do you get into selling Azure, right? One of our team members, Raghu, is based in Vancouver, one of the 6 supporting Azure, right? But here to help you build out that solution. How do you get in to start selling Azure? How do you build that practice? How do you make it profitable? And even how do you go pitch it to your customers? We're here to help you all along that journey, right? There's a variety of digital tools we have in place. Like I said, we have the pre and the post-sale support. And this is where our professional services team can come in as well, right? Is it doing assessments? Is it doing the migrations? Really help you be successful in your Azure journey, right? One thing that I want to bring up is perpetual licensing. If you've been a Microsoft partner, you normally purchase licensing through the perpetual model. Now that is all available through the CSP program, and we're here to support you. One of the follow-up webinars too that we'll get into is the overall of our D&H cloud solutions. We have 23 complementary vendors in our cloud solutions. So excited to bring that to you as well in a follow-up. So let me ask you, are you currently selling Microsoft CSP today? And the most exciting part of our day is that we want to cover the D&H Cloud Marketplace, right? The Cloud Marketplace allows our partners to create custom product offerings, operationalize the multi-vendor services, and it's all through an easy purchase program, right? Self-service portal, automated provisioning, as I mentioned, executive reports, customizable reports. But instead of me going through all this, let's bring Jeff back into the table here and give you a real hands-on initially of what our D&H Cloud Marketplace is. Jeff, over to you.
Perfect. Thanks for that, Ian. So I'm just going to share my screen here, and then we can jump into the demo. So this is our D&H Cloud Marketplace. This is basically the portal where you'd manage all of your customers' Microsoft 365 licensing, provision. You can create new tenants from here. You can link up if they have an existing subscriptions, and then you're able to provision through this portal. It's very easy to use, very intuitive. To get signed up, we do have a slide further up next, but basically you just go to, on the regular D&H website, you go under Shop By, you click on the Cloud Solutions button here, and then you just click on the sign up option, and then it typically takes only a couple minutes to fill out the form, and then it'll give you access to this portal. So when navigating the marketplace, your 2 best friends are going to be the customer tab on the left-hand side, where you can manage all your customers and all of their licensing. And then this bottom taskbar at the bottom here where you hit new, and then it gives you the option to order different services, create different users within your organization, create different end customers that you're selling to, and so on and so forth. So right away when you sign in, you'll be brought to this landing page here. This is the American demo site that we have, but pretty much it's going to be the whole same look and feel as the Canadian side. The only difference here is that it says .com instead of .ca in the URL field, and then the pricing will just be in US dollars just in this demo here. So you can see all the different vendors that we have. It would be pretty much the same on the Canadian side, except for a couple of the telephony ones like AT&T and Cox. That doesn't do business in Canada, but pretty much everything else would be the same. Our marketing team always is updating this homepage with different hyperlinks just for different initiatives. So for like big changes coming with Microsoft on them ending the open licensing program and shifting perpetual licensing to CSP, and just some of the other hyperlinks that you need to get started. So one of the neat things about our cloud portal is that you can make this an end customer facing portal, And what I mean by that is where you see kind of like the D&H Cloud Solutions logo right up at the top here. You're able to customize it and rebrand it with your own partner logo for your company. You can kind of change up the color scheme as well for how it looks. And basically, you can white label this and provide it as like a e-commerce storefront for your customers. So not only can you offer all the products that D&H has that you can resell to your customers, you're also able to add in your own custom SKUs as well. So under the price list tab, um, these are all the different price books for the different vendors that D&H carries on the cloud side. But if you go under create your own price list, you can add in your own custom SKUs as well. So if you have like a gold, silver, bronze support offering or just any kind of like professional services or managed service offerings, you're able to add in your own custom items that will be viewable on your end customer side. And you are able to edit the pricing as well. So if you have like 20 different customers and there's just like, say, 2 or 3 that have special pricing that you've given them, you can adjust it per end client. So it's not all or nothing. And the beauty of getting the self-service portal set up for your end clients is that it's not a mandatory thing. It is optional, but if you do give your customers access, they can go in there, increase licensing, order it themselves, and then you just bill them for whatever licensing that they ordered, and you'd be notified as well for if they've made any changes on their side. So when looking for pricing or just looking for different products that we carry, there's 2 ways to go about it. You have the Explore tab right up at the top here, or kind of what I prefer is if you go under just the company name and you go under available services, you can see all the different products that you're able to procure. So there's all the Microsoft SKUs and then some of the other complementary vendors. So when you click on, I'll just click on Business Standard, for example, here. If you go under the pricing tab, this is where you can view all of the pricing. So everything in the purchase price here would be your cost from D&H. And like I said, this is just in USD, but it would be a Canadian on the Canadian side when you log in. And we have all the different billing types. So monthly with 1-year commitments, prepaid annual upfront, or if you're just setting up some trial licenses, you can do that through us as well. So I'll show you, so for setting up new customers, so these are just some of the demo or the fictitious companies that we have here. So when you're selling to your first customer, you go under Create Company. You select yourself as the reseller. And then here you just put in anything with a blue asterisk is a mandatory field for getting everything set up. Anything blank, you can just leave optional. So I'm just gonna put in some info here. So do democompany.com, demo company. So once you've inputted all the data, it brings you to the next page where it's going to give you the security roles. So for me here, I'm going to have everything selected. Where you'd kind of want to adjust it is, so you can see where it says customer admin or reseller admin. So for users within your organization, you'd want to have all the reseller ones selected and even the customer ones. If you're just giving your end customer access to it, you'll just want to have the customer admin selected just so they'll only be able to view their specific customer profile and not all the other customers that you're selling to. And then lastly, you just select the price books that you'd be offering. So here I just hit select all. If you add in your custom ones that I was showing previously, it would show up there as well, so you can add it in. And then once you hit finish, you'll just give it a sec to load up, and then you can go to the company, and then you can start adding in licenses and doing all that good stuff that you may need to do. So here, when you're selling Microsoft licensing, the first thing that we do is we set up the organization tenant. So we already have one set up here with Leanne Firestone. And what this organization tenant link does is just pretty much authorizes D&H with your end customer's tenant so we can supply the licensing to them. How it would work here, we go under order service, select the organization tenant. And then here, this is where it gives the option if they're an existing Office 365 customer or a brand new one. If they're an existing customer, like they're already getting it through another provider, or they're getting it direct from Microsoft with their credit card, they'd already have their .on Microsoft domain. So we'd select this checkbox here. We just match up with whatever their tenant domain name is, and then you'd input your Microsoft partner ID. Our system does remember it moving forward, so you just have to input it for the first time. And what it'll look like once it's all set up here, if I go back to the Leanne account, once we look at it here, so if it's an existing customer, it gives you the authorization link where you then authorize D&H with the end customer's tenant. But if it's a brand new Office 365 customer, we'd have that checkbox unselected. And then instead of giving an invitation link, it would just give the admin username and then the temporary password for first-time sign-in. So for managing your customers' licensing, it'll all be on the left-hand side here. So you can see that they have a few different subscriptions. So just say, for example, we wanted to increase it. Just say on Monday, they're hiring 4 new people. We can adjust it here, increase it to 5. Right at the top, it shows you what your prorated charges would be in the month. So I'm not going to adjust anything here, but that's pretty much how the process would work. And then you just hit confirm and save, or just hit the checkbox there. Some neat features, or a unique feature that we have that a lot of partners like to take advantage of. So for example, they're consuming a few different subscriptions here, but let's say we wanted to add in a brand new one that they weren't currently consuming. So we'll just say Microsoft 365 E3. So we just select the product, accept the terms and conditions. So here on the configuration page, this is where you're able to adjust quantities. So for example, if we wanted 5 here, again, it gives you your cost and then the MSRP. You can adjust the billing type. So if you're going for annual upfront or some of the promotional pricing Microsoft has going right now, you are able to switch it for whichever billing cycle that you're looking for. But one of the unique features that we have that a lot of other disties don't is this subscription end date alignment. And basically what this does is that with some of your customers, if they've been consuming Microsoft for a while, they can have, like just say they started a subscription today, 2-3 months down the line, they wanted to order a different subscription. Normally they'd have 2 different anniversary dates for the 2 different subscriptions. But with this subscription end date alignment right at the bottom here, you are able to co-term it. So even though we may be 3 months into the first billing cycle from the first subscription you provisioned, you are able to align it. So the customers would have one true renewal date instead of multiple different renewal dates over the course of a year. And then lastly, once all the data has been inputted, it'll just be on the order review page, and then you just hit the confirm order. So typically, once you've submitted the order, it takes about like five minutes or so for everything to be provisioned. What our partners really like is the usability of the portal. It's very seamless. It's easy to use. Where other disties, it may kind of take like 4 or like 6, 7, 8 different steps for doing certain actions. With us, it's a lot more streamlined and simplified. And same thing here, like if, for example, if you wanted to upgrade this business standard, we do have the upgrade feature right at the bottom. So instead of ordering a new license and then canceling it, and because especially with the whole new commerce experience with Microsoft NCE, there are those hard deadlines in terms of renewal dates. And same thing here, when you click on the actual subscription, you can see all the subscription details itself. So when you have the 7-day window to make any changes, so for increases or decreases or just renewals, you can see it on this tab here. And then you would click on basically this upgrade button. I think this part's not letting me click on it, but you just click on that upgrade button, and then it would prorate the charge for the new license, that provision, and then get the prorated credit back for the unused term. So when it comes to setting up different users within your organization, you just go under your reseller page here. Go under, there's the users tab. So here you have the audit log and user log. So if you have multiple different people within your organization that are consuming different license or that are ordering licensing for your customers, you can see who's made changes if you're unsure. You can set up multi-factor authentication as well if you do choose, and then you can adjust the security roles. And then overall, when it comes to billing, you just go under the billing tab here. You can view historic invoices. So if you're going for previous months, and then you can also as well export some billing data. So for a lot of finance people, like this is the Excel file that just comes straight from the portal. So it gives you some different tabs at the bottom here. So depending on which view that you prefer, for your reconciliation, you can view all the different subscriptions here. You can just see group by service or just raw charges in general. How the billing works is that we bill in arrears. So everything that was ordered in February will be billed in March. Everything ordered in March will be billed in April, so on and so forth. And then all the invoicing would just show up in your D&H PayNet account. So where you pay all your regular hardware invoices from D&H, no change there. It'll just show up in the same spot that you're getting those licenses from. So the last portion that I wanted to cover, so there's creating new users. So if you have multiple different people within your organization, you can have them set up as well. So you just put in their contact details. And then lastly, under the support tab, if you go to the support center, there's just a knowledge base of self-service guides for how to do various actions on the marketplace itself. So that's pretty much it on my side for the demo. I know we have a few more minutes at the end for some questions that have popped up. So I'm going to stop sharing here and then we'll continue on. Ian, back over to you.
Hey, fantastic, Jeff. A lot of information that we try and squeeze in there. And I think we're available on call, right? Whenever any of the partners want to take a deeper look into our portal and we can kind of walk through. So I kind of look at our next steps. I know we're coming up on time here. So, really the first step, visit dnh.ca/modern solutions. Everything that we've talked about today starts at that tab and works down. You're going to want to register for the D&H Cloud Marketplace, right? With that, then we can set up and actually do a personal walkthrough. Jeff, myself, Raghu, any other of the team members here within the Modern Solutions Microsoft unit, and kind of walk through and give you that hands-on feel. And then contact, right? Reach out to us, cloudsolutionsea@dnh.com. That's a shared mailbox for my Canadian team. All three of us are on it. The rest of the team has access to it as well. So I think that's pretty much what we wanted to share.
Yeah, Ian, if I could add a couple more things. So it doesn't cost anything to sign up for our cloud marketplace. So it's free of cost to our partners. And one thing I forgot to mention during the demo is that we do have some integrations as well from our cloud marketplace to some of your internal tools. So if you're using Autotask or ConnectWise, we do have direct integration with those two. And then we also have APIs, open APIs as well. So if you have third-party system that has open APIs and you're able to connect it, we can give you all the keys and everything for getting that established.
Right. Perfect. I think we have a couple of different questions that came up. How do we sign up? So I think, Jeff, you kind of showed that through the landing page, the dnh.ca, how to sign up as a cloud marketplace, or how to sign up so you get your free account. It's simply just register and we give you access. Reach out to our email. We can contact you then as well. There's some questions concerning costing as well. Definitely reach out. We can do a follow-up call with you directly and talk about, where we sit and how competitive our costing really is. With that, Jeff, any other things to close out on?
No, just I want to thank everyone for spending your time today this afternoon with both Ian and myself, and looking forward to connecting with each and one of you.
Great. Thank you so much, all. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, everyone.